Welcome back to the Precision Trader. Just wanted to go over the liquidity book for today. Just show you a few of the high flyers for the day, which had a very green market. Got the Pfizer FDA approval, so yeah, it was quite green today. So with that said, the market market wanted to push. So let's look at a few stocks here. We'll start with Tesla. And of course, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, we're looking here at a order book. We're looking at all the resting orders that are sitting ready to be filled in the order books, whether that be the ROKU book or the NASDAQ, ARCA, all that good stuff. So with that said, let's look and see what we had to start the day. Started here at 685, and of course what we like to look at from the get-go is where's our major levels. So as we open, of course our major level on the downside was 680, and of course we had plenty of liquidity north of where we were starting today, which is always a good sign that if we get good volume come in, yeah, whichever side in the pre-market where we have the heaviest layer of liquidities, whether that be on the top or bottom, that's more times than not where we're going to make our way to at some point during the day. So we started the day, and Tesla came down here, wanted to test the support down here. Had some buyers here that wanted to jump in, and sure enough, they did. Big time buying at 680. We see that again, the strategy is, we want to have orders just on the front side and the back side of the liquidity, because just in the event that that we push all the way through. Now, of course, let's say it would have pushed through this level. Say we'd have pushed down to, for me, get out would have been 688.49. That's the get out of there. But we see that didn't happen. Wouldn't have to worry about, or in this case, it would have been 678.49. So again, if we'd had our orders sitting right here on the front of the liquidity, and what are we doing from there? Well, we're playing from one layer of liquidity to the next major level. And for Tesla today, the first major level was 700. We had a little bit right here at in the 692 area, 695. Nothing major. Again, we're on $5 level increments. We're looking for these heavy bands of liquidity. A lot of orders sitting in the book. So we see that we came down here, filled up a bunch of the buyers, absorbed all these buyers, brought us higher, pushed all the way up to our next major level of liquidity, which ended up being 700. We got a nice little pullback. Got $3.50 worth of pullback there. So that was actually a little bit more than that, almost $4 worth of pullback off of this liquidity. So again, way you could have played it, say I'm going to play it to the next layer of liquidity just on the front side, then I'm going to take my profit, and then I'm going to wait and see. Once it proves that it can get pushed through this liquidity and find support on it, which it did right here, pushes through it, bam, hey, I'd say entry at about for me, the way the Tesla works, I would be entering at 701 in this situation, 701.50. That's my entry. Once it gets about $1.50 on a major $5 level or a $10 level, that's my signal to go ahead and jump in there, and that would have been a great signal. And again, once I do that, I'm playing to the next major level of liquidity, which in this case was 705. Again, what does it do? Pushes right up to it, actually pushes into the liquidity all the way to the backside, and then proceeds to retrace back $3. So got a nice pullback on that liquidity, but again, we're waiting to see if it can push through it. Finally pushes through it, and then more sellers you see come in right there at 706, or actually 706.40ish, and then they push it all the way back down to 701. But again, it's a push day, and again, there's no liquidity down here. See all this, what is this telling me? That ultimately it wants to come up here. There's not a lot of, it wants to go where the majority of the liquidity is. In this case, there's nothing down here. I mean, yeah, you can say all the way back to 6, but no. I mean, look at all this liquidity up here. It wants to go where the liquidity. Now, granted, we're getting close to noon. We know liquidity, our volume starts to die down, but we're still good here at 10 o'clock. So anyway, pushes back up to this liquidity, finally pushes through it, support candle, and then at this point, 710 is all but guaranteed. This liquidity up here. Yeah, nice liquidity at 710. This is actually where I started shorting, because I know on Tesla, once it hits about that $30 point, you get around the $30 point where it's pushed $30 in the day. So in this case, it pushed down to 680, pushed all the way up to 710. That's where I really get, very, serious about a short position, because that's just how I've day traded Tesla for quite a long time now. So that's one thing I've learned. Once it starts getting that 25, really the $30 mark, and it starts getting around that 11 to 12, I mean, you're all but guaranteed a nice $5 to $10 pullback. So what happened here? So like I said, I got in this 710, 711 area, and so in this case, it actually pushed into the liquidity, pushed through it, and then what happens a lot of time after that, you'll see, see more sellers coming into the book right here, and sure enough, they knocked it down. What did they end up knocking it down? Only $4. Yep, didn't knock it down near as much on that one as I was expecting, but hey, take what you can get. So, and once I got that initial pullback, that was pretty much it. You can see right here, buyers ready to step back in at 707. See this? Of course, it's not as thick, but whenever it's retracement like this, I'm not looking for when I'm looking for it to reverse. I'm just looking for a band of liquidity like this. Doesn't have to be red and orange, just a good white, yellowish. But that's more than enough for me to signal a likely turnaround. So with that said, it pushed back up into the liquidity, rejected, pushed back up into it again, finally pushed through it, had a support candle. 1150 is my entry. Where was 1150? 1150 is right here, and I'm playing. But at the same time, middle of the day, 12 o'clock, volume dries up. At this point, you just gotta be, you gotta be content with anywhere from $2 to $5 moves. And in this case, again, you've already moved $30 on the day. You can't be expecting too much more. And really, you had 2 extra bands of sellers here. So that was asking a lot for it to push through both of these levels of sellers and have enough volume in the middle of the day. That's just, So anyway, so from push right into this liquidity, 712, pulls it all the way back to 708. A nice $4 pullback. And then finally, volume gets even weaker. And yeah, bouncing around, and finally into the close. We get a nice, pushes back up into another band of sellers, and they finally knock it all the way back down to 705, which is what I expected when it came up here the first time. It just took a while to actually push that far down. So that was Tesla. Let me see, another one that I got into today that was moving big time was BNTX. And let's see what it looked like. This one was very clean. Very clean. I like it whenever it's nice and clean. Just got, in this case, really had just two major big layers of liquidity. So again, start the day in the start the day or the pre-market. You see, hey, we got this big band up here at 400. But again, what did we start? 370 to start the day. So yeah, 400 was asking it to push $30. Was, yeah, that was asking a lot, especially when you had this huge layer of liquidity right here. Well, it's actually two big ones that are just close together. But with that said, after I've seen it run, so from 370 all the way to 380. So the first band of liquidity was at 387. So again, if you're long, hey, that's an area that you want to look to take some profit, partial or all profit. For me, I'm more on the bandwagon of, hey, I'll take my profit, and then once it proves that it can gain, it can absorb all these, these sellers sitting at this level. Once it shows that it can absorb them and find support on it, well, really, it'd have to get on top of them. These were so close; they were only $2 apart. Yeah, it'd have to get on top of both of them for me. So yeah, cool. So we can see came up here, just came into the liquidity, ton of sellers there, rejected all the way back down to 377. Yeah, $10 rejection. So yeah, again, it's a nice leading indicator to have an idea of where all these sellers are sitting in the order book. But again, there wasn't liquidity down here. Lots of liquidity up here. What is that signal? It wants to push back up. So, not that it can't never happen. I mean, you never know. The market could start falling through the floor. Yeah, SPY starts falling through the floor, then yeah, that's kind of throws things off. But this is a day where SPY is the overall market. The SPY is pushing. So that just gives you even more confidence with the liquidity that it's going to push back to major levels of liquidity. And we're only at this point 9 o'clock. Yeah, got plenty of volume. And sure enough, it pushes back up to it again, rejects again, $5, pushes back to it again, trying to absorb those sellers. Can't, too many sellers. Pushes it all the way back down to 375. Yeah, that was a $12 rejection off the liquid. So yeah, there was a ton of sellers locked and loaded at this level. So again, I mean, you could have been the guy, oh, I'm holding until 400. Well, you gave back a lot of money. Especially if you got in here right at the beginning of the day at this nice big bullish candle, 375. Well, if you waited all, I mean, you gave it all back. So no need to do that. No need to do that. You see these monster layers of liquidity that there's going to be a ton of sellers at. Hey, take your profit there, and then once it proves that it can hold that level, it can absorb those sellers, then you jump back in. Don't give all the profit back. No need to do that. But again, pulls all the way down here, which I should have kept it over here so I couldn't see it, let you guessed it. But again, pushed all the way down here. Again, there's not a lot of liquidity down here. Where is it at? There's little to none. It's all up here. So where does it want to push back to? So once you get your reversal, it's back up on the VWAP. I mean, you know that you're coming back up here to this liquidity. All right, so finally comes back up, tests, has a smaller band of liquidity, comes right here. It actually knocks it back down to like $3. Again, wants to push back up to this 387 level. It does. Pushes back up 387, drops it all the way back down to 385, pushes right back up to test it again, gets knocked down again. Yeah, needless to say, these sellers were not messing around at this level. They were locked and loaded. And of course, yep, it never, and again, the way you play this is like, okay, well, at this point, I want to short it. Short start, I want to short or scalp here on the front, excuse me, the front side of the liquidity, and also too on the back. And then, yeah, I mean, if you'd have done that, that would have been, that would have led to a nice, at any of this point, I mean, it's what, how many times this level rejected now? 3 or 4 times? I mean, just look at the, yeah, I mean, if you were somebody that was flexible, willing to play both ways, I mean, this was a monster day. I mean, you start the day at 370. Okay, that's $18, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68. Yeah, I mean, you had $70 worth of movement in this stock today. I mean, that's insane. Yeah, that is insane. So, and then finally you get to the middle of the day, volume starts dying down. Yeah, just hanging around, bouncing around the VWAP. That and that was pretty much it for BNTX. So, anyway, I hope this this Bookmap order book session was helpful. Feel free to go back and look at some of the other lessons. Also, too, if you'd like even more education help, this is just one of the big indicators that we use in our server. But it's a good one. I don't trade with I don't trade without my my order book. So yep, it's definitely one of the most important indicators that I use. So with that said, this is integrated into Thinkorswim. Right now it's in a beta version, but yeah, it's open to anybody. Just call Thinkorswim, let them know that you you'd like to add Bookmap to your platform. Of course, if you don't want to use Thinkorswim, you can go directly to Bookmap, but you will be paying you'll be paying a little bit. Now, granted, you get more bells and whistles with the actual Bookmap platform, but for myself, I'm a bare bones. Yeah, I just need the basic stuff. But if you need bells and whistles, you trade futures, different things. Oh man, I mean, that's the bells and whistles that they got are just crazy next level stuff. I mean, yeah, it almost makes me want to get into some futures trading just to be able to take advantage of all the different features that they have as far as iceberg orders, big institutional orders, dark pool order. I mean, it's just, yeah, next level stuff. So yeah, definitely check it out there. And also they're adding more to the equity side, bells and whistles to that as well. So yeah, once they get something, I don't think I can live without on the equity side. I'll be making a move back over to the primary platform of Bookmap. But till then, like I said, I'm just keeping it simple using the integrated Bookmap on Thinkorswim. So with that said, thanks for listening to the video, and hope you have a good rest of your day.